Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Crazy morning. I am super late, 20 minutes actually to be exact. I'm going to tell you what happened. We're going to break it down. If you want to hear why I'm late, we'll break it down. We'll talk about it. It was not my fault. I want to make it really clear. Things happened technologically. I had to just get through. It was what it was. Let's talk about BTC. Let's talk about the charts. Let's talk about me and you. Let's talk about everybody here in the chat. Shout out to everybody here on the chat. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for jumping on in. So number one, today was an interesting day. Our dryer stopped working about a week ago. It works, but you have to do twice as much. We don't know. The guy checked it, said it's fine. Said there's nothing wrong, but it must be older. So we were like, okay. And so the weirdest thing about that was, so it's like, okay. So he checks the dryer, says the dryer's fine, checks the airflow, so there's nothing wrong with it, and says, you know, I don't know. You should be fine. So we keep drying clothes, but they're just not drying the same. So we call the same company, we get a new dryer. The new dryer comes, but they don't fix it. You got to get a plumber. So they bring the dryer in, take the door off. So they were just doing that now, and I started the live stream like I always do, 10 o'clock. Everything was fine. I had my charts open. I had been using Brave since about 7 in the morning, 6:45, something like that. And I continue to do my thing. And next thing you know, I go like this. Whenever I start Brave, once I start the live stream, I go to YouTube like this, and then I go to the content section. I find the link inside the content, and I send that out, you know, to Twitter and to the like. It makes a Twitter link and all that fun stuff. So the weirdest thing about it is, you know, funny, there's the thumbnail there, but it's like acting up. It's YouTube. But the idea was so we had it all. It was ready to go. And next thing you know, Brave just would put a little like icon here, like a little eye, like an info, and it would say like not secure, and it wouldn't load YouTube. But all the other links were working. And then so I kept trying to load YouTube, I eventually got the chat up on like Microsoft Edge, and I was like, all right, I'll just use that, you know. But then I was like, you know what, let me just restart Brave altogether. So I quit Brave and went to restart it, and I could never get it to load another site. And then I wasn't going to be able to do technical analysis. And then I was sitting there, and it was like 10:08, 10:09, and I'm like, I'm done. So I had to call my team, say, reset the stream for 10:20. Let's get it back up and running, and let's reset. So it is what it is. So I just wanted to let you know it's not my fault. Something happened with Brave browser. The cache got used up. I don't know what happened, but something happened. Money getting thrown into crypto today like you wouldn't believe. This map is just out of control for a Thursday. A lot of Bitcoin buying, a lot of Chainlink, a lot of Litecoin getting bought up too as well. We're also seeing some Tron. We're seeing some sushi, that donut, that sushi nut coming on in there. We see Ethereum flying on in. We see XRP. People know now. These are like household names at this point. People know the deal. They know which coins are hot. They know which coins have the backing. They know where we're going. So shout out to everybody here switching it up to some trap instrumentals today. Keep us down and dirty on a Thursday. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Let's take a sip of the lemon water. So I started this morning looking at this possible, you know, I guess a symmetrical triangle. Had a bit of a bull pennant feel. So far, it did break down outside the pattern. Could that be a little bit of a bear trap? Can we break back inside? We are very oversold in the 7 and the 15-minute. I would expect a bounce to the upside. Tight moving averages as well, but you never know. We do have a high. We have a low. We have a lower high. But we have a higher low. Can we put in a higher low, a higher high than this and break that little mini trend? And that's kind of, you know, that's what bull pennants are. Lower lows and higher highs. Lower highs and higher lows. That's the way it goes to get the money as it flows. That's a little rhyme that I made. Lower highs and higher lows. That's the way it flows to get the money as it goes. Or that's the way it goes to get the money as it flows. Yeah. Lower highs and higher lows. That's the way it goes to get the money as it flows. I keep it moving, keep it spitting, keep it ripping, keep it hitting, keep it dipping, never stop it rocking, hitting, ripping, flipping, dip, hipping, nip, That's the beat. Just if you wanted to rhyme to that beat, I'm not saying I'm a rapper. Just letting you know that's the cadence. Mountain Man. He said, Sam, no. The guy didn't realize that, you know, I shouldn't tell people this, but I actually, I never. He's like, Sam, no. But if you ever wanted to, Sam Price Life Elixir. That's me right there. I made an album 10 years ago. I was rapping for 30 years. You'll figure it out one day. Anyway. So Bitcoin, inside of a symmetrical triangle. All right. See this thing? I'm also on iTunes. You can find me on iTunes, Spotify. You can listen to me. Yeah, people don't realize, man. Dude, have no. I sent some Casper Mine ASIC sauce your way on Discord. I sent some Casper Miner ASIC sauce your way on Discord. How'd you do that? Master Friend, shout out to the 1399 California, Canadian. God bless you. Thank you so much for the love. All right. Shout out to the 300 people on the live stream. Thank you for jumping on in. 122 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I'm vulnerable right now. I usually have 500 to 800 people on the live, and right now I don't. So I'm kind of freaking out. You know what I mean? I'm getting insecure. I'm like, oh my God. So I need your help. Help me. Boss, rap on Average A. Wolf Creek Part 2 features Schizo. You're funny. Can't Stop the Flow. Shout out to Jesse Nemesil. You may be an amazing person. Went to get to the trade using risk management and patience. God bless you, Sammy. And the lifers, we hold strong. God bless you, brother. You made yourself an amazing person. All right. Shout out to Vito Nasso, my man. God bless you, brother. Can you take a look at Pepe Coin? Pepe Coin is all right. Pepe Coin looks better than Pepe 2, I'll tell you that. Right? So right now I'm looking for a bounce on Bitcoin. 15-minute and the 7 both want to bounce to the upside. 1 hour also, trying to push us further down, but also had already made a low. Can it make a higher low in the Stokes there and get the push to the upside? We're still kind of sitting inside of this. I call it a symmetrical triangle here with a breakout to about 29,715 is the measured move for BTC. If we could get back above the 200 SMA, it would be a good sign. Right now, the 15 has done that. All right, 15-minute look, broke below, short it. It gets above, you long it. I'm telling you, I can keep teaching you about this 200 SMA. You can be stubborn all you want, but once you bend to the rule of the 200 SMA, you will realize how beautiful it is, how much money you can make with it, and how amazing it opens up so many roads. So, and it can give you long-term ideas, short-term ideas. You could trade it on the 1, 7, 15. Heck, you can use it on the weekly and the 3-day like I do, showing you where we have strong bullishness and where we're kind of set. So, AK Miner, new Ice River KSO Cas Miner with PSU free air shipping. Dude, I'm probably going to grab this one and start mining Caspa. Who here knows how to mine Caspa and can help me on like a Zoom call? Because I've never mined before. It would be my first time. I have another computer I could set up to mine though, and I'd be willing to get it in. I even build another computer just for mining, But I would like to mine Caspa all day long and just keep it mining. If anyone here mines Caspa, knows about Caspa, I think GF Burke is a Caspa. He might be mining Caspa. I believe he could hook me up. But if anyone else doesn't, let me know. Will you go over the comp trade you had? We'll take a look at that. I think it pumped up and pumped back down. We'll take a look. I can help you, FUD expert. Just send an email to my wife, cryptolifers@gmail, and say Sam needed Caspa mining help. I wanted to help him. Can we set up a Zoom? Shout out to the $19 in chat revenue who already did that. We got Master Friend with a $13.99. God bless you. We got Mr. J. Dan, you're looking big. You will need the next size shirt soon, Mr. J. Thank you for saying that. Can we look at Mina today? You know what's crazy? Look at this. This shirt's okay, but a lot of my shirts, I'm having problems with the neck button. Like it's like my neck is. Why did my neck, men out there? Why is my neck getting so big? Is it just because when you get old, as an old man, your neck grows? I'm doing tons of push-ups, more than ever, more push-ups than I've ever done in my life. I guess it grew my neck. I'm also doing these. I'm just doing He-Man stuff all day long, man. I'm busting out the blazer. You know what I mean? That fitted. I'm bigger than I was when I got it fitted. That's the problem, right? Can you look at Phantom 3 out? I'm looking at it at the 1 hour time frame. All right. So this looks cool. I'd be willing to catch myself one of these. Thank you so much for that. Joyson at akminer.com. And how do you see? I'm always want to cut out the middleman. Like, how does this person build this? I want to build my own miner. It can't be that hard. If he sells it for 1,000 to 15, I could probably build it for 3 to 5, right? And the cash rate, get it? Oh, I'm so funny. But who wants that cash rate? That Caspa hash rate, baby, the cash rate with a K. Kick. So right now, Bitcoin sideways. Usually Thursdays have low liquidity, and because we just came off of, sorry, the music's a little loud. Because we just came off of the Fed meeting and the spookness of the whole, like, you know, the way it was all weirded out. It makes Thursday even slower. I wouldn't be surprised if we just go somewhat sideways today and people were more cautious. The market takes a lot out of you, man. Everyone waiting for that meeting, going through the meeting. It just, how many times, I'll put my hand up. How many times have we been through a rate hike week and you just feel exhausted? You feel exhausted at the end of the week because you waited the weekend before participating. Remember even last week, remember the market was funny and I kept telling you because everyone's anticipating the meeting, right? And you could feel it. You can feel it in the market sentiment, you know? So we're getting this little dump here for Bitcoin. Let's see if we can get a bit of divergence on the smaller time frames. But look, it's almost we fell out and we bearish. That's a bearish retest in my humble opinion of this trend. Really not trying to hold the trend there. We're trying to dump out of it at this point. I mean, this is interesting because even on the 1 minute, the overall trend is up here on the RSI and down here. To me, I've backtested this as a bullish divergence. It's like a group of them. But in even this one, if we just go small ball, overall, more of a flat trend than an uptrend. It is somewhat of a bullish divergence. It's not perfect textbook divergence, but it is a bullish divergence. Can we get the bounce back to the upside? But right now, look, I mean, that's a rising wedge breaking to the downside. Very rare, but it happens, right? When a rising wedge breaks to the downside, it'll leave the base of it and usually go straight down. It'll break down similar to a descending triangle. They both will dump. All right, me and Jamie, man, we're going to start mining Caspa. I'm going to become a Caspa miner. What do you do? I mine Caspa for a living. What do you do? Mind your business. I guess the guy was like, what's your business? I was watching a movie yesterday, and the guy's like, it was like old, it took place in the 1700s or something, and he's like, what's your business? And he's like, mind your business. I was like, that's funny. I like that. Weirdest thing yesterday, I told my wife I had to bring up on the live. So I mean, it's not that weird. Someone here might do it. You know what I mean? But we're walking on Jamaica Pond yesterday in Boston. It's this beautiful pond, kind of like seems like a reservoir, but I don't think it is. But it's a beautiful pond. Maybe at one point it was the reservoir for the town. I don't know. But it's beautiful freshwater pond. And it's somewhat municipal. Like a lot of cars are driving around. It's in the city, but it's got beautiful homes around. It's pretty. It's just nice. And I see this guy, and he's like a white dude, but he's wearing those big punch, huge poof pants, but the ones like a samurai would wear, right? The samurai pants, and he's got like the poof shirt, and he's got like he's got two wooden sticks, and he's like practicing katana, and he's all in the zone. And I was looking at my wife, and I'm like, I could do that, but like I couldn't do it in public because like I don't want people to think I want them to see me doing it. You know what I mean? Like, look at me. I just thought it was so funny, man. And like, we just had to laugh. Like, I don't know why. Like, and I'm not saying laugh at other people, but it was just funny, man. I'd never seen that. Like, maybe I'd seen Tai Chi and all that, but I'd never seen a dude sitting there like literally in the suit and everything. Like, he's all alone, like next to a tree. And he's freaking practicing. It was hilarious. Anyway. I told my wife, I was like, I got to bring that up on the live stream tomorrow. It was too funny. It's too funny. He's doing it in public. That's what I'm saying. He was doing it in public deliberately. I don't know if he was trying to get us to feel certain things or if he was trying to get something for himself. It was so funny, though. It's just so funny. Don't mess with him. He knows the keto. I know. He probably like, is the 4 hour quite high on Bitcoin? Also trade that, so I will wait. Get the 50-minute and the 1 hour. Though money flow needs to get into the green. Amen. Tom Cruise has entered the chat with his samurai sword. He reminded me of The Last Samurai. I should have said that. You know what I mean? So look what we see here. Look, kind of an Adam and Eve double top. Right there. And that actually may be given the dump. The 4 hour is horrible, right? Overbought. So let's break it down like we do every day. I was watching that symmetrical for the last hour and a half. It didn't give us the love. Like last 2 hours, really put that call out at 8 o'clock. So we say, hey, could we get the bounce? There was a possibility. We didn't get it. It is what it is. You know, I'll go to the KuCoin chart. We're going to delete everything. And number one, I mean, you're in a rising wedge, bear flag. Don't forget the bigger picture here, right? You can even almost say it's like in this like banana clip coming back down to the edge, or you could say it broke out and broke back in. Either way, this is a bearish pattern, right? Bearish pattern. Broadening rising wedge. Broadening rising wedge, doesn't matter. They are both bearish, right? The whole length of your pole is your break to the downside. You'd get a dump down to 28,496. I'm not predicting where price will go. We will watch it level by level. I'm just showing you that is your measured move if you do decide to dump and lose this bottom trend line, all right? It was cool for a second. Everything looked awesome. There was a chance we were breaking back inside Sammy's bullish megaphone, and all was going well. Did anyone watch any other TA? Does anyone else have this bullish megaphone? Am I the only? Because I haven't been. I've been so busy. Like today, my day is out of control busy. Today I have a meeting, I believe at 2 o'clock. My wife asked if I could take her to Costco's from like 12 to 1, right? So right after the show, I go to Costco's. No lie, like a real life, right? Funny, right? You'd think I would pay someone to go to Costco's for me. Sometimes I like to do real life things because it feels like real life. You know what I mean? Like I beg now to do regular stuff because I'm so busy. I mine various coins, including Bitcoin. Usually more profitable to buy and stack. Shout out to Crypto Plumber. I just want to be part of the network, man. Yeah, I just want to mine to say I mined. To just be kind of like, just to do it. Even if I lose a couple $100. I think over time, as long as Caspa 50Xs, you won't lose money. Like, you won't lose money on Bitcoin mining 5 years from now, in my humble opinion. You know what I mean? Anyway, so it looked like we were about to get back inside the bullish megaphone. We had tweaked back inside. We were hanging out, only to basically bearishly retest it, in my humble opinion, right? And break back below. Very oversold in the daily. You can dump very hard when you're still down here. I just want that to be clear. Yes, we're oversold, but this is also a place where you can just have massive dumpage, all right? Daily candle doesn't look too bad. It's in indecision right now, so it's not the worst thing in the world. 22 hours also oversold. There's a chance. Could we get back inside the move, right? 4-hour time frame's the one that isn't amazing, all right? And it also, previous support and resistance is like perfect textbook move. So we go right here. So we have wicked right to this point, and our candles close right there. And then you could even just bring these candles here to the wick. So our candles closed to that wick, you see, and this wick came to these candle closings. So you can see the zone that we've had of support and resistance, and we lost this beautiful support at 29,815. You know, that was beautiful support. We lost it, clear as day. So once you lose that, we bearishly retested it. Really good time to short, right? 29.7 right there as you come back to the previous support. So previous support, and you flip that upside down just like a retest to the upside, right? Last night I put a call out for Bitcoin to bounce off the retest. It's funny, I saw it in this symmetrical ascending triangle, and I drew this falling wedge, and I said, looks like a retest, and it did bounce. It's interesting. That was the play last night at like 9 o'clock to long Bitcoin off this retest. I gave it to the trading group. It played out. It made gains. So it's interesting. Like they moved that, you know, gave it a label, but it made, you know, 10x leverage, 8% gains overnight, you know, in about 8 hours, 9 hours pump. So I gave that call last night. I was like, this looks like a retest to me for a bounce off the trend. I mean, it was. Previous support became resistance, but you had to break this high. You had to break above the 200 SMA. Look at the 4-hour getting rejected by the 50 SMA right there, right? And I'm going to show you the total market cap right now, which if I believe in my mind, got rejected by the 4-hour too as well. So we got to take a look at the entire market cap. So we'll get rid of this. So last night we had the long. You know, you take what you can out of the market. You don't force it. Woke up to gains, closed it at that wick, right? Which was basically a resistance point, 29,500. Psychological support and resistance are the 5s, 29.5, 35. And then it seems to be the 5, the 8s, and then back to the 1,000 region. And then we just go through the cycle over and over again. right? So bearish signal for me, very overbought on the stochastics. Remember, the weekly even has that bearish divergence that could still be playing out to the downside. We went up really fast here, which tells me we could come back down to 26K pretty easily, or even to this note here at 27.2. All right. We know our next stop is going to be about 28,005. If we lose that, our next chunk of liquidity is 27.3, and then we're back inside that zone in 26,000. So we're looking for a possible move back down here to 26,500. Could be a bear trap. A double bottom would be awesome. Right here. Boom. And then we break back up inside the pattern. So I'm not bearish. I'm not bullish. I'm just open-minded. I am right now on the big time frames. I'm still bullish because as long as the weekly stays above the 200 SMA, and you'll hear me say these things over and over again, I remain bullish. Price action starts to close a weekly candle below this yellow line. That's no goose. Also the same thing on the 3-day chart. About to get the golden cross here though, which is the best move, which tells me this is probably going to be a fake out back to the upside. Why? Because the golden cross is approaching on the 3-day. 3-day will soon reset on the Stokes, hopefully with not too much damage. We could end up making this a bit of a wedge, hopefully, and then boom, we're still back to the upside and just retesting this resistance right here at about 28,500. So I'd definitely put some limit orders in at 28.5 for BTC to see if I can catch them. You know what I mean? Might be a nice place to catch a limit order, personally. I'm going to put some orders down there just because. So you do whatever makes you happy. That's what I'll be doing. All right. I'm nice enough to tell you that. So now let's look. Oversold on the stochastics RSI. Oversold on the RSI getting into the falling wedge. Whenever the RSI gets into a falling wedge, it's a pretty cool sign that it's going to eventually break on out. And then lack of momentum on the MACD. Also, we're getting falling volume with falling price, which means we're losing the sellers. We're losing the momentum of this wave to the downside. So, and there's a lot of buy pressure right in here for people that didn't get in at the low lows. They waited for 10K. They were told they were going to get 10K. I do one-on-ones a couple times a week. I did a one-on-one. I have one today. I did one 2 days ago. The guy in the one-on-one was like, yeah, I was watching these YouTubers telling me you were going to 10K. I figured I'd wait. They seemed like good guys, knew what they were talking about. He's like, then I found you, and he's like, I started looking at your other past videos, and I saw that you were buying in, and you were calling the bottoms near 16, 17, 19,000. And he's like, man, he's like, and I saw you buy all that Bitcoin. And he's like, dang, So you got a lot of people, and I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but you got a lot of people that were told we were going lower. Now, then we started to pump up to 32. They got scared. So now they're just like, you know what? Their will has been broken a bit. They already waited too long. So now it's easy for them to jump back in. So they're going to be buying up these prices, 28,000, 27, 20, in my humble opinion, because they missed out. And they couldn't buy the top then because they knew, damn, now it's pumped too much. Now they didn't know what to do. They were stuck like a deer in headlights. Now that it's coming down, they're kind of opening up the wallet and being like, well, if I don't buy now, So that's the issue too. So that creates a little bit of, to me, it makes it harder for the bears to win here when you have these sideliners that were waiting on the sidelines. But we must heed the 4-hour time frame. Bearish engulfing candle to the downside. Got resistance this morning at 29.5 and began to break to the downside. Overbought on the stochastics RSI, not the best sign. All right. I was talking to everybody on the trading group, and this is why trading groups are awesome, right? Some mornings you may wake up. I post charts. What if one morning you wake up and I only post like 1 or 2 charts? And then you're like, and I say, all eyes on Bitcoin. I do see the 4-hour getting overbought. For alts, we made it one more cool down period. I see good setups, but the 4-hour is the one thing that has me concerned. Total getting rejected by the 200 SMA on the 4-hour here too as well. We're going to break that down and show you. So right now I'm bearish. I'm bearish, and I'm going to see if we can possibly double bottom right here off of 29,000, right? That's going to be the area to watch. We lose that, I'm looking at 28,005 to start to nibble on some more BTC. So these are the levels that I'm looking at. I do see some signs of bullishness on the bigger time frames, and I'm not freaking out yet. However, I will tell you, once you're below the 200 SMA on the 4-hour, you open up a short. We talk about this, right? Came up, hit it, got resistance. If you can hit it one more time, you can add to the short if you're, or, you know. And so many times I see this. Now, it's not easy to play. You have to get used to playing this because it'll come up and come down. And like, say your stop loss is right here, you would get stopped out right there if you didn't take profits right there. And, you know, this is a play that you hit break even a couple times, but like 2 out of 6 times you hit a really fat, big trade. So you're not always going to hit it. But like this one would have been perfect. A 4-hour candle closes above the 200 SMA. You open the trade immediately. You put your stop loss beneath the next swing low, or, you know, so you find the swing low here, stop right here. So you enter the trade. These trades are open-ended. You can use your patterns to find out where we're attempting to go. I mean, that had the falling wedge, so you have all that. But once you got above here, stop loss right here, and then trail that thing. I mean, that would have been a monster trade. You see? And all you had to know was how to use the 200 SMA and price action. You don't have to know anything else. Like nothing else. Like it's one indicator. It's the 200 SMA and price action. You have to know how to use a stop loss. Like, you know what I mean? You don't even need the MACD, the RSI. You don't need any of it. Like, you don't. You can make this trade, and you could do this. I challenge everyone here to open up an account. Call it the 200 SMA account. I should just start doing it together. And we'll just start opening up every time we get above. And what I like about it is, say the stop loss is here, like, so it comes back down. You get stopped to break even, you know? Every time you get up enough, you bring the stop loss to break even. So when the trades don't work out, they'll just be break even trades. But when they do play out, you know, and the probability is just on your favor. Like this one would have played out. You would have got that chunk there. Who knows? Maybe you would have got scared and came out a little early, you know, but still. The key is not to lose. The key is to be able to set up over and over again and not lose. And take as many shots as you can, right? This one went up pretty fast. So by the time the candle closed, you were pretty far away from the 200 SMA. That's another, like, that's one of the flaws in the system. Like, it gets you have to be a little, you kind of have to, you know. Now, if you start seeing this pump up and you have the gall to get in halfway through the flag, you know, you could front run the closing, you know, a little tougher though. So you may have missed that run just because of that. It was a little risky. Or when it came back down, may have been just enough room to scale in there, you know. Yeah, 6% stop loss ain't bad for me. So this is, and I've talked about this many times on the live, and it's same as short. Right here, you open up the short because you get the 4-hour candle closing below the 200 SMA. Now, bots trade on this, so I believe that's why there's such violent moves up and down on the either side of the 200. So understanding the 200 simple will change your life, all right? Look, it coincides with a high volume node too, and like, you know, you start throwing in support and resistance, Fibonacci, and you know, there's, you know, but honestly, simplify your trading, take deep breaths, do what the charts tell you to do, and be happy. You know what I mean? Don't fight yourself. Don't fight the feeling. Don't fight the charts. Do what you got to do. All right? But you got to get a strategy. You got to be comfortable. I'm super comfortable with these SMAs. So everyone's like, why don't you use EMAs? I'm like, because I use SMAs. You know what I mean? It's like, why don't you drive a Ford? Because I drive Chevys. You know, it's like, why don't you do this? Because I do that. You know, and I'm not hating on EMAs. I think they're awesome. I've slapped on an EMA ribbon before. I love when we're back above it. It works great. I had Market Cipher for 2-3 years. Like I use it on and off. I slap it on. Look at what I do. It coincides. All my divergences are the green dots. I can find green dots before they, like, basically. I used to do this. I have a video out there where I put Market Cipher at the bottom of my charts. I go through the charts. I find the divergences. I mark them with a blue line, and then I tell you where the green dots are going to be, and I circle them, and then I flip on Market Cipher, and the green dots are already there. And so I prove to you that you can become the best indicator in the world just by, like, you know. However, I do love Market Cipher. I don't want to hate. I'm not hating. I just love it. But I want to also I'm just giving you the, it's like etymology. If I taught you where a word came from, I'm just teaching you like how information and data is derived. It all is derived from momentum indicators. Momentum indicators become the start of everything, and then it comes from that. Money flow comes from RSI and momentum of the stochastics, right? Things of that nature. So we're at the top of a channel. 1, 2, 3, top of a channel. We're likely to bounce here back to the bottom of the channel. You know, if we don't double bottom at 29,000, we're looking at 28.7 or 28,500, both those levels, because we could bounce on the bottom of this. This could be a falling wedge that we could bounce from. Possible, right? Here at this channel, we're open-minded to everything because it's like a game of chess. You don't know exactly what the market maker is planning on doing. Now we add liquidity to BOOKMAP, and we just see what BOOKMAP is saying. All right, so BOOKMAP still has some big sell orders here at 29.9 and 28.98, which is interesting, and they're pretty close to price action. Usually we do touch price action when it's closer, but no guarantees. Remember, nothing in trading is guaranteed. Nothing. That's the one thing you have. That's why you always have to be vigilant and use a proper stop loss. All right. Now, 28,500. All right. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. I'm just a trader going over kind of the things that I do. You guys tell me the things that you do. Together, we get to share them. If you go to my channel and you go to the About section and just check it out and you see what it says, you'll see exactly what we do here on the channel. No, because I want to make it clear, right? Just for everyone to know. Welcome, I'm the Crypto Lifer. I'm a self-taught market analyst. I talk about crypto daily. I live stream, right? I go over Bitcoin. What my business does, I educate people on technical analysis and safe practices of crypto. The relationship is strictly student to teacher. What my business does not do, I will never consult you on your portfolio. I'll tell you what to buy or sell. I will never manage your money for you as well for any reason. If anyone contacts you offering these services, they're impersonating me and it is a scam. I'm not a financial or an investment advisor. Thank you for watching. Just like to clear that up all the time, so we know what we do here, right? We love to educate the world. So here we are at this area of liquidity. We could go further up. We still do have the oversold 15 and we still kind of possibly could come back inside that pattern. They could be playing some games here on that smaller time frames, but I do see liquidity up here. I'm just giving you guys the news. I'm not saying I know where price is going to go. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. All I know is how to read the data and give you guys the probability of that data. That's it. So 29,300 holding, it looks to me like the 4-hour wants to crush us way further down. They have a big order at 28,500, right where our order says we will go to. Pretty much the same idea here. So far, the 4-hour has been crushing price action to the downside. 1 hour as well. But we are now at the bottom of the trend line that's been holding, technically. Pretty close, right? Bounce, 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 bounce with a wick, getting really close again. Can you bounce to the top of the range again? I wouldn't be surprised if you did, right? Now, this symmetrical triangle did break to the downside. They're 50-50, and I tell you, most of the time, these chubby triangles break to the downside. I don't know why, but most of the time they do. Still, I had oversold stochastics. It looked like, hey, let's take a shot, but that would have got stopped out. That trade that I put out this morning would have been stopped out. But that's good. If you're not getting stopped out, you don't have a system, If you're putting things in and sitting in a trade from, this is what beginners do. They open up a trade, they get stopped out. They open up a trade, they get stopped out. Their third trade, they say, I don't want to get stopped out anymore, so they take the stop away. At that exact moment, the trade goes below a big key level. They have like $1,000 portfolio. They're down like $300-400. That's almost half the money they started with. They're freaking out. They're about to panic sell. They're not sure what to do. Then they say, I'll just hold it anyway. 2 weeks later, it's down like $800, and they got $200 and they can't make a trade and they get upset. Had they just used a stop loss, it would have been a $40-50 scab, maybe less. They would have walked away with their $960 portfolio. Would have been able to open up another trade with probably $40-50. You know what I mean? And again, if you can't double $100, you have no business putting more money in the market. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I can't double $100, I have no business putting more money in the market. You see what I'm saying? If you can't manage the money properly, you got to prove to yourself you can manage money. Trading is more than, trading is managing your money. You got to have the discipline. You can win trades and then still lose money. And you're like, how? Well, you don't manage it properly. Your next few trades, you put way more in on the first trades that you won. Or you get hyped thinking you're the best trader because you won a few times. You start putting way too much more money in the trade because you don't have a proper risk management strategy. I teach this in my trading group. I teach it in my beginners course this Saturday. The last Saturday of every month, I teach a live course. You can sit with me from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. all day. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's going to be Saturday morning, all right? July 29th, I believe. Today's the 27th. Yeah, the 29th. I teach class. I used to teach it every single Tuesday. Maybe when it ramps up and things get crazy, I will go back. But every single Saturday, every last Saturday of the month, I will teach a course. In the course, I give you a PowerPoint. I go through a PowerPoint at the end, a 9-point checklist. I talk about how to read support or resistance, how to look for tight ranges in the trend. I talk about how I use these things to accumulate Bitcoin. I give you my basically long-term Bitcoin accumulation strategy on the low. I break down Bitcoin and hash rate, talk about halving so you can understand what the halving is, why Bitcoin is constantly profitable as mining, what really makes Bitcoin worth what it's worth. I break that down for you a little bit too as well in the beginning. And then I show you all the indicators that I use, all right? How I use them in conjunction with each other, how they interact with each other. I give you a 9-point checklist of what I look for before I get in and out of any single trade. And then I give you actual trade setups too and teach you proper risk management. I think it's one of the most thorough courses you can take for $99, $60 if you're in the trading group. It'll blow your mind. All right. You won't see I've been through the entire crypto sphere. I've met everyone out there. I love them all. They're great. I believe, all the courses, $400, $300, $500, all this other stuff. You need to know a lot of stuff you need to know before taking someone else's course. Like my course, once you take my course, then you could go take other people's courses. But if you don't take my course, you won't know a dang thing. Like, you'll understand market cipher better. You'll understand every other indicators that you use even better because you'll know what's going on behind the scenes of the indicator. Super important. So I believe my class is so thorough and well thought out. I consciously thought it out. I was like, how can I give someone the most of me in the least amount of time? And it took me years to perfect what I do, like a long time. So that 9-point or 7 to 9 point checklist, I believe it's 9-point checklist. That checklist will blow your mind because what it will do is now you'll have a system for the rest of your life. You will have a system, whether you adopt mine or you tweak mine into your own, which I hope you may do. You will have a system. So jump on into class this Saturday. Link in the description below to tutoring. Just hit the tutoring link. You'll see the day. Hit the day. It's automated. You'll get a Zoom link sent to you, ready to rock in the morning, about 8:30 in the morning of the time of the class. We'll sit together for 3 hours. We'll have an absolute blast. We'll answer questions at the end. Someone might ask a question that you want answered. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Fudd Etzberg. Shout out to West Salvador. Shout out to everybody here on the live. And I give you everything I have in that class. I'm telling you right now. Every single, it's so, I love that class. I love that class. All right. So right now I'm suggesting a pump back to the upside off the bottom of this, wacky trend line, this chubby, because we've been bouncing off this low range every time. It also is the same retest point that we bounced. It's kind of a double bottom right now on the 1 hour. I just realized. You see that? Very oversold on the 7 and the 15, right? You got this bullish divergence now for sure on the 1 minute. I mean, that's a strong bullish divvy. It is on a small time frame, but that's sometimes you just got to get it where you can get it. So the thing about divergence is, like, I try to teach students and they're like, but is it better on the 1? Is it better on this? And I'm like, I mean, at the end of the day, it is bullish divergence, but we got to break above the resistance. Like, Bitcoin has to get back above 29,358 to remain bullish, right? Like, so cool, we got the divergence. Divergence will almost always give you a spike up, but it won't always push you through resistance. That's what I've learned about divergence, okay? It's always right. You always get a bounce, but you don't always get a bounce out of the move. Like, you don't get out of the resistance point, right? I mean, now this is in a falling broadening wedge, but these do break up too 60% of the time. You're expecting some type of bounce out of this. It's in a slanted shoulder, head and a right shoulder, in a way, right? I see indecision though. Lack of an edge. My edge is when the 1 hour and the 4 hour are combined and we look nice. You see here we're like fighting each other a little bit, so there's higher risk in the trade. When the stochastics are set together, there's lower risk in the trade, period, because there's just a higher probability the trade's going to go in your favor. When you're trading a smaller stochastic against a larger stochastic and they are conflicting, you're high risk. I've seen it play out and I've seen it not play out. Most of the time it doesn't play out. Most of the time it gets worse. You know what I mean? The bigger time frames tend to take over. So that divergence didn't really give us much. See, then you can kind of test to divergence. Divergence didn't give us a lot. Bitcoin's still slipping to the downside. And now I'm starting to look for smaller time frames because I'm looking for a bear flag. I'm looking for some type of continuation pattern on these smaller time frames. We're starting to get the divergence again, but ooh, look at that massive dump. Four hours just nasty. And I mean, and technically, remember, like we started this morning, symmetrical, base of the triangle, you're breaking down, now you know where you're going, right? 29,164. Now you're breaking this trend line. You know? Yeah, yes and no, I guess. I'm toying with it. Any hidden bullish divergence? It's tough today. Bitcoin's not easy. Some days I wake up, right? We see a flag, we go bada boom, bada bang, 1 hour oversold, bada boom, and we're out, right? Not the case today for BTC. At the end of the day, you short the resistance, I guess. That's simple, you know? Symmetrical triangle, break to the downside. Once it lost that level, it did a bearish retest on a very small time frame. It really did right there. And short it. I want to see a bear flag on the smaller time frame to show me that it's going to continue down. But now I'm getting, and like, look, the divergence really isn't that strong anymore. That's slanting down. I mean, it's a slight, it's like a class C because they're both slanted down, but that's slanted down sharper. So that is a divergence, but it's just it's whack, you know? And look, that does look like an Adam and Eve double top. You got the rounded side, you got, you know. I mean, the 4 hours just getting started in the stochastics. Yeah, again, I guess I'm back to just, you're looking for 29,000 for a double bottom. And then 28.5, layer some orders down at 28,500. And we could go lower. Like, we could see 26,000, you know. Let's take a look at our DXY. Wow, look at that. Just gets us, like, it's so strange, right? Anyway, we'll take a look. So the 1 hour was in a falling wedge. Did touch the 200 SMA. Look at that. Bounced off the 200 SMA. It's just so strange how all these things work in conjunction with each other and do the same stuff. Like, even if it's the dollar index, you know. So let's take a look at this kind of bigger idea here. So if it did come to the bottom of the channel, you would expect to come to the top of the channel one more time. It wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world, right? So if the dollar index comes here and gets rejected by about 101.78, no, why am I saying 102.45, that would make sense. And it would get rejected by the 200 SMA on the 8 hour time frame, and we'd fall back to the downside, right? It's got some legs on the 8 hour right now, which is interesting. Daily is getting a little more overbought though, right? It means if it comes up here, it will be extended. Does it pump up to the 200 SMA on the daily time frame? Almost did it there, almost did it there. So far, it hasn't done it every time. You got a rounded 200, which usually is bearish. Like, it's going to come back down, cross the 50 for a death cross. That looks likely coming to happen on the daily. We look at the 4 hour time frame. That's bullish, right? It was oversold in a falling wedge. So like when you simplify things and just do what they're like, that's oversold in a falling wedge, right? And this got a pump to the upside. It did get rejected by the 200 SMA. Same thing that the total market cap for Bitcoin did, which is kind of cryptocurrency did, which is really weird. Like, hold on, right? That's kind of strange. I don't think I've ever seen that. I could be wrong. Let me double verify this. Yeah, but see how the total market cap of cryptocurrency got rejected by the 200 SMA in the 4 hour? So did exactly what happened to the DXY. Pretty weird. Pretty strange. Anyway, so the falling wedge broke to the upside. We got this massive candle in the DXY. Why? Who knows why? Like, but again, it was oversold in the stochastics, and it was in a falling wedge, right? Bit of a cup and a handle. See that? There's your cup, handle. Pretty weird. So the dollar index gets a nice pump, but gets rejected. Can it continue? Take a look at your 1 hour. Your 1 hour is overbought. So flag it out. If this stays more sideways, it makes a flag, and there's a chance that the dollar, and Bitcoin could dump even more. We could see some sideways price action for a little while for BTC. Continue to dump down to the 29,527. There's the flag I'm looking for. See? And that is a bear flag, which looks to me will continue to the downside. Unless we have strong enough divergence, which it doesn't. To me, it's not amazing. It's just a little bit, but it's not amazing. The only thing going for you is that possible. No, you blew through the double bottom. Yep. Bear flag on the 1 hour, continuation falling to 29,145. Oh, there's the bounce though on the low stochastics. It's all over the place, man. This is chop. It's a mess. Kind of a double bottom right there. Off this level. If we get above 30,300, that's going to be the place to long, because that's that weekly support. We hold that, we're done, For me, everything, and look, Adam and Eve double top. Just ugly. This is just some weird. At the end of the day, I feel like, well, that you just broke out. You fell out of the broadening falling wedge on the 1. Now you're going to either bearishly retest that or fall back inside. And you could make an inverted head and shoulder here. The 15 and the 7 and the 1 hour are eventually going to say, hey, like you can't. I know the 4 hour wants to come down on us, but like eventually they'll put up a fight at one point, like because these time frames have to cycle. You get it? So like eventually they'll have to cycle back up. 15-minute does want to cycle back up. What a mess, huh? Like just searching through price action, it's just a mess today. So symmetrical triangle broke to the downside. We'll take that. Get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. We have the bigger falling wedge. That's intact. We have the broadening rising wedge that we've been forming for the last couple days. We're heading with the bottom of it. We could be holding it right there and bounce back to the upside. Very oversold in the 7. Attempting to find that reversal pattern on the 1 minute just to confirm that that's what we're going to do. Right? I'm looking for this bounce personally because we're just so oversold, but that 4 hour also looms, so it's right. But you got to get this bounce back up on the smaller time frames. Let's see what they can do. I feel like we get a bounce. Target would be 29.5 again. You know, we'll see. I shouldn't say what I feel, but the markets convey to me that we could be getting a bounce based on the very oversold conditions of these three time frames that I love to use to swing. All right, we did lose the symmetrical triangle that I drew this morning to the downside. It's a 50-50 pattern, and mainly it does break down. So, super chats, MENA, comp, and Phantom 3L on the 1 hour time frame. It won't let me send super chats. That happens to me too. Like on some other people's channels, I can't send a super chat. I don't know why. So, it's weird. No worries, man. I believe that you want to send a super chat. I'm with you, man. Thank you. I put out Zen recently, if you remember correctly. We talked about it in this flag on 720 in the trading group, and it's up 22%. Came back down for the retest of a bit of a, kind of a W too. So the W played out, then retested in a falling wedge, bit of a cup and handle, and broke out again. Doing damage right now. I see it making somewhat of a flag, possibly in the 4 hour time frame, and then continuing to the upside. Wait for price action to snuggle in to the 21 SMA. Something like this. We don't know if it's going to be more sideways or more. One of these two patterns, though, will probably form, and the 21 is going to be the maker, what helps you understand when and where to begin to look for another target entry for another move to the upside. 21 is a deadly, amazing way to trade by understanding how the 21 and the 200 interact with each other. When they're far apart like this, it's usually, and you get a bearish divergence, it's usually time to get out. Okay, when they're close and you get a bullish divergence, it's usually time to get in. So you look for tight moving average. Now there's other things. You'll see the MACD crossing, see the RSI. The stochastics will also be oversold 90% of the time. These are the things that I'll teach you in the beginner's course, that you will never enter a trade again until all these things are met. You'll know exactly what to look for and why to look for it. All right. And you'll understand liquidity too if you want to get to the next level. You don't have to get into BOOKMAP yet. I kind of suggest you take the beginner's course, you learn TA, then you begin to learn liquidity. And you start understanding the order book and order flow and stuff like that. All right. All right. Let's take a look. We got some super chats coming on in today too as well. All right. So we're going to look at that flag on the daily, on the dollar, on the 1 hour there. If that flags out nicely, it tells us that that 4 hour is going to continue to dump for Bitcoin. Okay. And that the dollar index is going to get a little more pump to the top of that channel. So by watching the DXY, we get a bit of a handle on Bitcoin. So like if this flags out and we stay in a nice flag, it's a continuation pattern. It then gives us a higher probability that that this asset will continue in that direction. Okay, so now the probability will, and then if we look at Bitcoin and it continues in a bear flag, same scenario, and then we can begin to make a decision of what's happening. All right, let's break down the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency. All right, I haven't broken it down in a long time. We have a big level to watch at 1.25 trillion. Okay. We bounced nicely and held this support zone at 1.14 trillion. We bottomed out at $725 billion, and $810 billion was a bounce area there. And we bounced off this point of control at basically a trillion, we'll call it. So we got $1 trillion support. Really is our big boy support that we've bounced from. And we have 1.09 support too, because we have resistance here. We bounced off it. So this is where we stand. The daily still above the 200 SMA, maybe coming for a bounce. Not the worst thing in the world, right? Could be in some type of pattern like so. Hopefully that's the case. And we begin to break on out or just go more sideways. But this would be nice if this is what we're looking for here. Bounce off the 200 in the daily, go more sideways, do our thing, right? 4 hour definitely doesn't look amazing and wants to break down a little bit. This has descending triangle vibes to me. See it? You know? They like to break to the downside as well. Straight down. So that looks pretty bearish to me. And this is the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency. All right. We have a clear resistance at $1.18 trillion. Can't get above, can't get above, can't get above, can't get above for whatever reason. So Funny, my right shoulder's starting to hurt a couple days. I used to get it a lot. I didn't get it for a long time. It's weird. I haven't had the shoulder pain in a long time. Now it's coming back. So anyway, up, down, up, down, up, down, getting tighter in that zone. We'll look for that to channel. You know, you'd like to say, hey, no, it's a falling wedge, and we're going to break on out of that. You really want to hold this. See this bounce? You really want to hold that. There's a point of control here, too, at $1.13 trillion. So we'll watch this closely. As this gets tighter and tighter, it's going to have to make a decision. If the market can break back above 1.18 trillion, we're in pretty good shape to, like, you consolidate, or if it can come down and bounce, right? Remember, we're below the 200 on the 4-hour time frame. Usually a bearish sign, or even if it's not the worst thing in the world, usually you're going to drop a little bit. So, and this is the bear flag that we see on BTC now when we zoom in here. And if we snuggle up to the trend line, you know, break into the bottom, and that would be Bitcoin falling to that 28,500, right? $29,000 level. These two areas to watch. So right now, I mean, you have previous resistance you have previous support that became resistance. Pretty good place, you know, and you're overbought on the 4-hour time frame. So what you do is you wait on the 1 hour. Honestly, for me, I believe the highest probability is to open a short right here, right now. Stop loss right there. What if you could short the whole market, you know? But same concept. Bitcoin's in the same setup. So you just short those two tops, you know, boom. Even though we're low, it looks like we could just get drained. The 4-hour could continue to dump us. The 1 hour stays in a bear flag, right? So I'm short. It took me about an hour and a half to come to my conclusion. About an hour. I was late today, right? So about an hour for me to kind of finally come clean here and call. There's the inverted, though, on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute. I just love challenging TA. Like, technically, that is supposed to break out to the upside like that. Just like it did yesterday, remember, during the meeting. Even though the Stokes are high, the chart should play out the way it's supposed to. The inverted head and shoulder should break to the upside. Really no bullish divvy, though. Isn't that crazy? I guess right there, it was the class C, like the very slight. That's what I like about scalping is, like, say you scalp this, you don't really care if Bitcoin goes up and down today. You just want to make sure this 1 minute makes 0.29%. That's all that matters, right? Support and resistance says you're in tough shape. I mean, you got resistance now at 29,359. Got to get back above that to even start a bullish talk. I mean, the time to short was already at that moment, right? Perfect resistant moment, but let's take a look if there's still room. I mean, yeah, you jump into the short right here, stop loss right here. I believe that's the most likely scenario. I mean, that 4 hour is looking horrible. Total market cap, everything agrees with a move down. You know? Now, the 1 hour is not perfect, but I've seen the 1 hour and the 50-minute just get pressed. When the 4 hour wants to dump, it's going to dump. Measured move takes you to 28,500, 480 really. You can even just lower this and you got the odds in your favor. The only thing that could happen is you get this bounce first on the 1 hour, which they're attempting to do. So curious to see if this inverted breaks out. So far, it is breaking out. Isn't that funny? Just like it's supposed to. It's crazy. So nuts. Too much for me, honestly. You gonna buy more cheap Bitcoin? Definitely. Lakochi Coker, man, my man. Super chats, MINA, Comp, Phantom 3L, DAG, and GFAL on the 4-hour time frame. Let's take a look at MINA protocol real quick. MINA. We want to see this flag out and dump back down. I mean, that's looking like a continuation pattern, which also tells me that the Bitcoin short is likely to play out, but only time will tell. That's a nice scalp right there, though, regardless of what the market does. Okay, so let's take a look at MINA. I wanted to trade that bad, too. Sometimes I get indecisive on the live. I'm like, just trade it. Just go for it. Can't be indecisive. Got to make a move. Got to pull the trigger. So MINA is really only on Binance, Bybit. I don't see it on a lot of places. We'll take a look at it on Binance. If I can see it on Binance. I guess I'll trade Bybit Spot. Why not? We'll put it on Bybit Spot. I won't trade it. I'm going to look at it on Binance Spot. Now, MINA is a very interesting coin. How MINA works is it's a picture in a picture. The way they explained it to me was, say that you went and you dug out. You said there was treasure under your house, so you dug it out and you find some treasure under your house, right? And look, there you go to the target. Isn't that insane? Even though the Stokes were super high, the inverted head and shoulder play to the upside. Don't play against these patterns. Don't play against these patterns. Don't think you're smarter than shapes. I'm telling you right now. Like, this is a lesson to be learned today here. Do not think you're smarter than the shape. Just play the shape. Keep it simple. All right? All right. Shout out to FUD Expert. No, I never block. I don't know if you're talking about me. I don't have time to block people, honestly. So, no, I don't think so. Scared money do not make no money. If I ever go broke, I'm going to meet you in an alley. Oh, my God. Scared money do make no money. If I ever go broke, I'm going to meet you in an alley. Jesus. D-Shuffle. Don't. Yes. And look, there's the, I mean, that's considered a move, right? There's the target to the upside. I love showing you guys how these play out, no matter what. It's so insane. But you got to spot them. You got to be able to see them. You got to trust in your vision that it is what you see. Like, that was what I saw. That was an inverted head and shoulder. They break to the upside 68% of the time. I mean, 70%. You know, 70%. So. Don't worry, man. You don't even look at people like that. It's all good, man. It's all good. I've been here for a long time. I've done so many different things. We don't need to, like, the lions don't need to look at the wolves, man. You know, we eat our sheep, we eat our meat, man, and we move on, right? So, like, we didn't make massive Casper gains in the last 2 weeks. We didn't make Casper gains in the last 2 weeks. We didn't make Zen gains. We didn't make, like, the list goes on and on and on. You know what I mean? He bought the top on Pepe too. Send him some love. Exactly, man. Exactly. All right, so we got a bunch of people mining Kaz. I love it. I love it. Shout out to the new people in the trading group. Space looks interesting on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. 200 approaching the bottom of the pattern. That's interesting. Space ID or space. So there you have it. An inverted head and shoulder broke out, but I wasn't honestly, I'm not like, you couldn't get above the resistance. You know, you're still going to roll over on the 1 minute. To me, I'm sticking to the short on the 4 hour time frame. Stop loss right here, entry right here, take profit down at 28,005. You know, maybe even at this wick, 28,861 and 28,480, 500 areas. So I'm calling a short for Bitcoin to the downside. All right, to about 28,590, and I may be wrong. Watch it pump all the way back to the upside and do something crazy. Who knows? But the probability to me that we're going to continue to dump. All right, so I'm leaving it alone for the rest of the time. I call it short Bitcoin. Entry here, stop loss. Really, let's see. Let's just show. I'll show the trade on the short position, but. Yeah, technically, stop loss has to be really 275 is the highest. The lowest I'll go. Oh, that was 777s on the 6.7 though, which is interesting. So stop loss at about 29,658. Entry right now, and the take profit is going to be at 28,515. Obviously, like a 4 hour scalp, that should play out by tonight. And the stochastics can break us down and. Right. So that's what I see likely going to happen. Is it going to happen? Who knows? I'm not a guarantee. You know, I'm not 100%. But that's what I see likely going to happen. You lost the point of control. Come into the value area high. You lose this high volume node here, which you're about to drop even further down. So I call shorts for bits. It is what it is. We move on. Also, if this flag goes sideways and gets ready for another move up, right? Now the 1 hour says that Bitcoin might go sideways or pump, so we'll watch. You know, 1 hour's overbought. You want to see if you can pump to the top of the pattern. Even if we do this in the 1 hour, I still remain bearish. You see what I mean? The trade will go up and down for a bit, but I still remain bearish. Would be a nice time to probably enter more into the short. And you keep the stop loss on the other side of that 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame too. Just could be a nice extra insurance. That 200 SMA, use that as your protection. Okay? I know nothing though. I know nothing. Trust me. I know nothing about trading. Don't listen to me. I don't know anything. These days, the 1,000 days I did live streaming, nil. I know nothing at all. So just remember, just because I did this every day for thousands of days, over and over again, it means nothing. All right? Anyway. I kept that to myself. Good thing I did. I was just speculating on Wing. I'm like, it pumped up huge, but it was like overbought on the bigger time frames. I never posted it to the group. I was just looking around. I'm like, All right, super chats. Rio, what is Rio? Salsa drill, my man. Just popping in to say hello. I hope you all are having a great day, understanding that you were blessed by God this morning, whether you know it or not. Crypto Cowpoke, man, we love you. Amen. And I like you saying that, right? I love that you said that. 508 people on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And tomorrow, the live stream gets cut short at about 11:15, 11:20 maybe, and I'm going to be on the BitBoy show tomorrow. So it's going to be pretty exciting. The BitBoy Day Show, talking crypto, talking a bunch of different stuff, just hanging out, probably doing a little bit of analysis. And I'll be on the show, I think, 10-15 minutes, just during that chart analysis section. But I'm excited. You should be excited. Can hang out with Ben or see who the host is. I believe it will be Ben. But I can't wait to see each and every one of you there. Show up tomorrow on the BitBoy show. So we go from this stream right to that stream. And this stream will be cut a little shorter than normal. So remember that. Just keep that in mind. Tomorrow's a big day on the daily BitBoy show. So excited to do that. Lifer is the most solid mentor to have. This guy is one of the best teachers in the game. Join the 99 and get the education you deserve. Thank you for saying that, man. Haha, bro, you legendary. Shout out to my man, Rockton Road. Super chats, Mina, Comp, Phantom 3L, DAG, GFAL, and Rio. All right, let's take a look at these. We got some work to do. And, oh yeah, and I have to take my wife to Costco. It's right after the live stream, she said. It's not. That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Let's look at MENA here on... Oh, they got it. They got it on MEXC. Candles are weird. I'm just looking at it on Binance just because that's what's like where we used to look at it back in the... We used to trade Binance all the time, by the way. The trading group started on Binance. Then they kicked the American people out. But we always had KuCoin on the low. Then we had to go to KuCoin. Then we moved to MEXC. Then it's going to be jumping through. Now we got ZoomX as the backup. You know, it never ends. It never, ever ends. So MENA protocol, lowest it's ever been. If you believe in the project and you like it, it's going to be a great place to jump on in. MENA protocol has one of the smallest blockchains in the game. I was on my way talking about it when I got distracted by something. But MENA is like, say you had a treasure in your backyard and you dug it up. You just bear with me, and it was a gold bar. So you took a picture, and because you don't want to bring the gold bar to work. So you took a picture of it. You says, "Oh, look, I found this gold bar." Right? Now, what if you found? Then you dug up another hole and you found like another one, but this one was like a diamond. Let's just say. So you have a gold bar and a diamond. Now, do you take a picture of each of them and bring them in, or no? You can put them next to each other and then take a picture of them together. Right? Think about that like MENA protocol. MENA keeps taking pictures of pictures inside of pictures. Also, I believe the entire blockchain can fit in your phone, and it's like under it's like under 100 kilobits or something. It's like this. It's the smallest blockchain per space, I believe. One of them. Maybe there's one smaller. You never know. But so far, it's one of the smallest. It takes up the least amount of digital space, and that's what MENA protocol that's what it has to claim. Now, when I deep dived it, I found that it was being backed by Amazon servers. I could be fudding, so Google that yourself. And that was also about 16 months ago, so it could have changed. But it seemed to have some centralized, bandwidth. Like a lot of its storage was on centralized servers. So even though it had this awesome idea and a really good blockchain, it seemed like the blockchain was stored on Amazon's AWS. I could be wrong, but you could figure that out. Anyone else can confirm or deny that. Let me know. So I was into MENA, then I wasn't. You know what I mean? So, really weird how the RSI is reading pretty strange too. It's not like the stochastics RSI is reading really weird. I'm not getting like a solid reading on it. I don't know why that is. Just acting pretty strange. Yeah, I guess it's just up and down. Pretty weird though. Spending a lot of time like really far below the dotted line. Like I've never seen that. Almost like it's just not reacting properly. Could be a glitch. Anyway, MACD shows lack of momentum. The RSI itself is in like a pennant. I use that a lot. You know, price action itself is in somewhat of a shoulder, head, and kind of a right shoulder there. And it's in a little bit of a flag there too as well. It made a low. It broke this resistance, which was the previous support there, and now it's using that as support again. It's a good spot for it. The Stokes acting funny throw me off a lot because I really use them. It's funny. That's like weird. Doing the same thing on KuCoin. That's really strange. It's almost like you got these like high point sell momentum. I don't know what to say. That's really weird. It does it on all of them. So weird. Anyway, MENA is something that I would either, if I really believed in it, I would be dollar cost averaging into it at these low levels. Swing trading, possibly a pump on that falling wedge to the upside. I can't get a great reading on it. Oh, there it goes. On Bybit, it looks fine. So we'll stay on this. That was weird though, right? On multiple exchanges, it had very strange stochastics RSI readings. I'd never seen that. I've seen that on like meme coins that I'm trying to figure out, you know, on like Dex Screener, but never like that. So yeah, I like that it's coming back to that resistance point and holding the zone. It's interesting. It's in a bit of a little mini flag here. Very oversold in the daily time frame. Again, like the whole market, the 4 hour would have to pump here with high momentum above the dotted line. Get us to above the channel at least, and then maybe reset back down. To me, I see sideways price action for MENA. Possibly one more grab at this bottom layer, you know. Obviously, the safest thing is to wait for it to break out and then retest one of these two nodes. You do have a gap in the VRVP, but that node right there would be a great, because then boom. And I would swing trade MENA from 50 cents to maybe 56 cents. To me, it's not about getting this perfect move to that move. It's about waiting for something to jump off of resistance and just taking the middle part of that. Because that's to me, I want to risk the least amount every time I trade, or I don't want to trade. You get it? So I'm going to be a lot harder on my setups than maybe a beginner will be, because I've been doing it for so long. I don't want to play games, you know? So comp was in this little flag there. It did break out of that, as you can see. I'm pretty sure I put a comp chart out, remember, yesterday morning, but it didn't look like that. I'm trying to think what exchange I use. It should be on a MEXC. Look, that's weird though. I don't see my setup. Hold on, let me see here. I can search comp, see where I put out comp. Yeah, KuCoin was the flag I drew it on. All right. So this is the flag I gave to the trading group. Said look like it's likely going to break out for some gains. And again, sometimes the market's flat, but look, I mean, it did wake up for 8%, and you did not get stopped out of this, right? And again, had you been in the trading group yesterday at 8:22 in the morning, I'm looking at comp, possible flag on the 15-minute time frame. Now you can see it now. That's the flag. That's exactly what happened. It did get the break to the upside. It's actually still oversold, interesting enough. The bigger idea, let's just look at it again fresh. All right, so comp was in the zone. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It technically then broke the top of that zone. You see? It had been really captivated in that area for a long time. Since June, it had been basically going up and down. All right. Now we got 70 cents and $70.70 here. Comp is retesting 85. It's a bit of a falling wedge here on the daily time frame. Now, this is what I like. See, to me, the daily says it can juice up to the upside. So the daily looks interesting to me for comp. 4 hours, that's why I woke up today and I said, man, I like a lot of setups. I don't like the 4 hour on a lot of setups, right? So that's when we slap on a moving average. And I mean, I like how they're getting tighter together. And so look, now I just saw something. There it is. Maybe we're getting this. See that? We're going to get tighter in the zone. Come back down a little bit. And then make a move to the upside. I know. I heard. I put 2 and 2 together. Pretty sharp. I'm a sharp guy over here. All right, so, and it also could be, a broadening falling wedge. We're seeing a lot of recently. Come back down, touch the 200 SMA. But definitely I see a reset on this 4 hour, just like I see a short on Bitcoin. And I see a resistance at 74 for comp. Something's brewing with comp, and the daily looks nice. I'd like to ride that daily. I pinpoint my entry, breaks out, retest there, or comes down there. These two places are juicy entries if the stochastics can reset. All right? Just giving you that gold, that love, baby, for comp. Set alerts on comp. All right? Dude, I already lived like 100 days today. I got a meeting at 2. I got a one-on-one at 3. I got ATB at 5. And we got screen share tonight from 7 to 9. I don't know how I do it, but we do it. It is standing at my desk all day long and talking, but it's exhausting. I'll tell you that right now. You know what I mean? And I got to go through the charts and find gems and keep updated on Bitcoin and keep pushing and say hi to my kids every couple hours, you know? Set alerts on comp, USDT, right? 4-hour reset would be a nice entry. Daily is oversold. So you look at all the time frames and you see how you make your move based on multiple time frames. It's not one time frame for me. I gotta see a bunch of different things together. You know, that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. All right. And I love Jim Rohn, man. You know what I mean? He's the best. The top 101 Jim Rohn quotes. We must all suffer one of two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret of disappointment. Either you got to discipline yourself or you ain't getting it. All right? Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. The difficulties you meet will resolve themselves as you advance. Proceed and light will dawn and shine with increasing clearness on your path. They really will, man. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Ideas can be life-changing. Sometimes all you need to open the door is just one more good idea. The book you don't read won't help, right? You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Amen. Amen. All right. So again, we told you how to watch Bitcoin by using the DXY today. Don't forget all the things we went over today because we went over so many different concepts and ideas. We talked about that 4-hour 200 SMA and the importance of it. Look at comp. Open up a long when it went above there. You're in the money. You bounced off of it. You're still in the money. You're still above it. That's very bullish. The bearish sign for comp, I'm always open-minded. Shoulder, head, do you make a right shoulder and dump? Does Bitcoin take a move? If Bitcoin slumps, it'll take the whole market down. All these beautiful setups won't play out. You have to be willing to play chess with the chess player. Set up a bunch of different moves. If they don't happen, you throw them away. And you set up a bunch of different moves the next week. You know how many moves I set up every single day? Not everyone plays out, but I take the ones that matter. This is the key to trading. You don't know what happens. You set up the moves. You take the moves that make sense that you've already set up. But you have to have a setup. You have to have a game plan. You have to have some type of preparation and discipline. You can't wing it. It's not going to work if you just open up the charts and do whatever you want every day. It doesn't work like that. All right? And I'm sorry, I'm being like disciplined. I'm talking to myself too. I'm just saying, you know, it's time we take, you got to take it seriously if you want to go all the way here. You really want to quit that job, buy that car, go on that vacation, do it, make your wife happy, have more time with the kids, all that. You're going to work your butt off for it. It's not going to be easy. Stop telling yourself there's some passive income thing coming your way. Stop watching those advertisements where the guys, you want to sit on the beach and make money. Throw that all out. Tell yourself you're going to work harder than you've ever worked in your life, and you're going to benefit from the hard work and the discipline. That is the way out. There is no other way out. Stop dreaming, stop hoping, and make it happen for yourself. All right? No business partner is going to swoop in and give you $1 million. It's not all going to happen perfectly. You're going to have to bust your butt for every single penny you earn. And no one's going to give you a dime. All right? You may get lucky here around the way. A few cool things might happen as you're preparing and keeping it moving. That's great. Those are little bonuses. They happen. But they usually only happen when you're working real hard. All right? And they're not to be truly celebrated. They're just to kind of give you a little push on the way to keep moving. Coincidentally enough, the MakerDAO founder was dead. The same week of the crypto project team dev. Yeah, I know. It's pretty weird. We remember that, Billy Bob. U.S. government is involved with MakerDAO programming, putting their collateral into DAI. Really? Maker's been pumping. Maker, Comp, and Aave. DeFi Perp looks like it is bottomed. We'll take a look at DeFi Perp for you. So right here, we got this double top here on DAG, Constellation DAO. We did have this little flag. It did pump out of the flag since I first talked about it, or maybe someone asked about it. I talk about how DAG likes to move with AGIX in DSLA. I don't know why those three coins tend to kind of... I just remember them moving together. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember them moving together in the last run. So, but again, it's that whole 4-hour overbought idea, right? Everything. So you're just looking for some flag or some cool off. But to me, the whole market needs to cool off. Bit of a double top right here too. That could send you back to the bottom of the channel. Be great if the smaller time frames give you a bigger push out, so when the 4-hour retest, it becomes a retest of this top trend line. That's what you look for, you know. Games for a living. All right. Our baby holding 1.7. I got it in this channel, and I'm just watching it slowly. It's been like watching paint dry. It's been slow, but it's also been fun. We got in down here. We're up in the money. Had you got in when I did on the live stream, you're still up 72%. At one point, we were up a total of 100% gains on games for a living. All right. Very small market cap, too. This is a long-term play. I got a pretty big bag of it. We'll see where it goes. All right. I like to buy it on MEXC. MEXC is the place to trade. All right. I got a MEXC link right here. Jump on into MEXC any day of the week. 24/7. Zero spot maker and taker fees. That's why I like MEXC. You don't have to pay any fees to make the trade. You're in, you're out, you get it done. MEXC is the place to be. Right? Like, and I like to show you, I put my money where my mouth is. I just show you my GFAL bag. Problem is, some of these smaller coins harder to find a place to put them on a hard wallet there, you know. But if I were to sell all my GFAL, I believe it's $1,800 or something, almost $2,000. So I'm stacked. This coin is a very small market cap. Let me show you this idea here. So this is what I'm doing. You can't hold them all. There's so many. But you could take advantage of the moves as we go. You can grab a few here, grab a few there, you know. But games for a living. This hit me. This got on my radar. I liked it. You can only get it on BitGet, MEXC, SuperX, Pancake Swap even, right? So it's you know, not easy to get. We got it into 5 biddies, a $5 or $6 million market cap. It's got a 12.4 now, if you remember. So it's doubled up. I like what it can do. I like the team behind it. It's a Web3 gaming platform that aims to revolutionize the gaming industry by releasing the first sustainable blockchain game with its first title, Elemental Raiders. The platform plans to add subsequent first-party titles such as Diamond Dreams. In addition, the platform offers a frictionless login, wallet integration, and payments, GFL ID and portal, as well as marketplace and analytics tools to provide a unique gaming experience. So, anyway, there's more to it besides that too, but yeah. People say this could go to $4. I mean, that would be insane. You know what I mean? But this is something that can 100x for sure. You could 100x your money on this thing. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm in it. Imagine if I 100x that $2,000 that I got right now. 50x is 100 grand, right? So that's $200,000 off 2 grand. That's a down payment. You could do so much with that. So I'm setting myself up for these types of possibilities. Now, maybe not every possibility I set up will go, but if I set up 10, if I set up 50 of these, I'm telling you, I'll hit at least 5, 6, 7. I may, you know, and that's what I aim for, you know. So it's not easy. You got to have the guts to do it. I'm a high risk investment speculator, but you do whatever makes you happy in life. I can't live without that risk, baby. So GFAL, USDT, 87% gains possibly coming to the target here at about 2.7. Well, no, we'll call, what is it? 3.3. Yeah, 3 3/10%. So you could outright buy a property with that money. I have a VPN. It still asks if I live in the US. Does it mean you have to lie? I can't tell you what to do, man, but you do whatever makes you happy. A real house, not an overinflated, made out of cardboard kind of house. Crypto Bear Baker shared GFL. I think he did. Shout out to Crypto Bear Baker for giving us Yeah, I'm pretty sure he gave us GFAL, games for a living. Yep. Well, he became the designated deep diver of the trading group. He has my exclusive DM. We talk in the morning. He sends me stuff. He's basically on the team. He's kind of an intern in the way. I don't want to call him. Maybe he's a lifer, man. He's there for us, man, long term. So let's look at Phantom 3L here on KuCoin or MEXC. Either one is viable. Someone asking about it on the 1 hour. I mean, I don't like to trade these when the 4 hours that overbought. I'll tell you that. I see you're trying to get this bounce. Previous support, you know. Yeah, Bitcoin could get the bounce too. You're basically watching Bitcoin, man. So like, if Bitcoin gets the bounce in the 1 hour, so does Phantom 3L. It's that simple, right? And you could get a bounce. This trend line's holding. You're very oversold in all these time frames. But just remember it. 15-minute looks aggressive for a pump. I'm looking at MEXC token. I'm in this trade personally. 4 hour wants to come back down. I'm sitting at break even right now. I'm wondering, do I stall out just to keep myself from getting bagged out? You know what I mean? Very oversold in this 1 hour. Everyone's looking for this bounce for Bitcoin here. Or is that 4 hour going to trump us? Just keep dumping the market. You're all basically 95% of your setups are based on Bitcoin. You got to understand that. 95% of your setups are based on Bitcoin. All right. Yeah, for by 2025, get richer plan. Crypto Plumber, my man. I'm there for all you guys. If you ever need a word with me, you're in the 99, feel free to DM me. I'm open ear and confident for you all. I love you guys dearly. He really does, man. Because he knows what he got out of the group, so he wants to give you the same love, the same support, the same respect. Rio on OKX MEXC Relio. It's for Relio. Interesting. Again, the whole market overbought in the 4 hour. I've never. It's like it happens. We just got to get through this. That means like the next couple days might be fun though, because once we get out of that, we'll finally have the 4 hour taken care of. We'll see what the dump attests to, and we'll be able to move from there. So that's a beautiful falling wedge. Again, I look for it to come back down, hit that area, reset in the stochastics. I put alerts here on the stochastics RSI. I put alerts here on a straight vertical line. I watch that. If those alerts hit, that thing looks like it could make some gains. Let's look at the bigger time frames. Yeah, daily's oversold. It's in the shape like most of the market. Previous resistance becomes new support. It's SR flip right there. I like what I'm seeing for this. This thing could make a move. I would keep an alert on the 4 hour time frame on Rio. All right. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. Also gave me an idea. So thank you. Hey, during the bull run, when the market's really giving, a lot of the super chats become really nice calls. So you people do an amazing job watching the market with me. That's the point of the super chats. You're supposed to be, yo, I just seen something hot, life might like. Let me throw this out there so he can take a look at it, you know? And then, you know, some people do that. Some people ask. It depends. It's what I'm happy either way, right? I just like to learn from each and every one of you. It's amazing. So thank you. Okay. We didn't even get to the news today. It's just been that crazy. I see 29.55 before we break to the downside. My dog's name is Rio. Amen. Energy Web Token, what are your thoughts? And can you check the charts, please? Shout out to Rubes. We usually don't like super chats after 12 o'clock because I kind of have to leave. But we'll see. We may be able to fit it in. So we talked about XRP here, right? It just making this channel, right? Overbought on the 4 hour time frame. Daily still needs to reset. Had a nice pump up. Had that news. Let's see what the next couple weeks kind of give us, right? Let's see how they finish off. Let's see if they can finish the case completely too. Close that case. Our main resistance is going to be 82 cents. And we do have a little bit of support because we have this little bit of consolidation that we're bouncing. So we do have a little support, 66. And kind of where we wick to there. But I would just look for some more, you know, some type of possibly more downside. That 4 hours me weary. The whole market, I have specific rules. I don't trade against them. High stochastic. Yeah. We might be able to swing it. Are they almost done? And that's XRP. People just send in super chats at the last minute. Tell them not to do that to your hubby. EWT on KuCoin. I've had this. It's been consolidating. Tell me that eventually it's going to... I opened this trade up, or the idea for this trade, like back here. We're talking July 6th or something. This thing's been consolidating sideways for months. It's crazy. But looks like to me like it's eventually going to break to the upside. One of the few coins that's not overbought on the 4 hour. It's actually oversold. So that's a good sign. But again, I've seen it before, and it just pumps to the up and down. You know, might get pumped to the top of the range, but it's getting tighter and tighter, and the moving average is getting crazier. Gets above that point of control. I can see it gap up. I see a move for this thing. But I've been saying that for 3 weeks now, and it just keeps consolidating. So it's been a boring trade, but one day it's gonna blow. That's what my indicators say. It is tighter than it was before. Set some alerts if you want to just, you know. I set 30, 50, 60 alerts. I might only trade 2 of them, 5 of them, 10 of them. It depends. You know what I mean? The idea is to be on top of the market and to understand what I'm looking at. That's all. All right. 29,300. Bitcoin pretty flat as well. Nothing crazy going on. Let's take a look at BTC. No more super chats, please, everybody. No more super chats. We are clear. All right. Hey, Sam, can you please look at the New World coin? Thanks. I would love to, but not today. I think it's a scam, too, by the way. So it makes it easier for me not to want to look at it, you know. Oh, so that, look, that's happening on all these charts. Something's going on with the trading views just acting funny. Stochastics RSI acting funny. There we go. Just had a reset. When in doubt, reset. So here we are. 1 hour is attempting to bounce now. You see it? I wouldn't be surprised. So the 1 hour is attempting to get this bounce back to the upside. Now again, if the 1 hour can bounce and you can clear these 2 highs, then fine. It will negate the bearishness. We'll get stopped out of our short and we can flip long. You know what I mean? And honestly, I don't personally like to enter shorts until the 1 hour comes back up and resets on the stochastic. Just that 4 hour, every once in a while when the 4 hours pressing down that heavy, I'll take the short. You know what I mean? So that's just trader instinct though. And you got to know when to pull that trigger and when not. I do see a bounce back for the 1 hour to the upside here. Let's look what happened to that one. That hit the target, came back down, went sideways. Still can't get above the resistance though at 29,350. But amazing, we did give a live trade there, inverted head and shoulder to the upside. You can see my trading style play out almost on every live stream. Some type of movement. I mean, you're making an ascending triangle now. It's going to have a measured move up or down once you get tighter in the range. So I'd watch Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart here. But I'm still more bearish than bullish. I've already went out on a limb and called a short. Stop loss up here at 29,658. Entering the chart possibly even now, you know. And a little earlier was at our first entry was at, let's see, 29,336. You're already in the money technically, you know. And to take profit down at 28,450, $500. So I'm short BTC. You can watch the 1 minute for confirmation. What would stop the short is we can at least break back above 29,360 and then start to break up to the top of this channel. We are making an ascending triangle. but it can be very bearish when you come into it to the downside. Okay. And we're looking at levels of 29,000 and 28,500. And that's my update for BTC on the day. That's all the super chats. And I didn't even get to the news, which is crazy. I'll pop into the news right now and then we'll be out. I'm curious to see what the news is. The news always is fun for me. I don't always know the news before. Some days I do, but some days I don't. So I don't always know what the news will be before I start the news. All right. We'll be right back with the news. Hi, my name is Samuel James Price, and every single day I do the Crypto Live Show, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Thank you so much for jumping on in. I appreciate for having you here. And today, I'm going to give you the news in a 3 to 5 minute segment. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about if big companies, basically like something like Blockbuster, which is gone now, but Radio Shack, something, one of those older legacy companies is making a big move into blockchain. I love seeing that. Recently, we saw something new coming out. We're getting into Ferrari. Right, was doing something with NFTs. So very interesting. And I'm excited to see how things are going. Also, we had last week we had a motorcycle, one of the famous motorcycles, Ducati, also doing something with NFTs, which I found very interesting. So asset tokenization in Europe gets a boost with securitized landmark tokenized equity issuance. Say that 10 times fast. Securitized landmark tokenized equity issuance. The firm started issuing tokens represented equity in a Spanish real estate investment trust under Spanish new digital asset supervision. Asset tokenization firm Securitize has issued the first tokenized equities under the European Union's pilot regime for digital assets, the company announced on Thursday. The token issued via the smart contract network Avalanche represent equity in Spanish real estate. This is going to start happening more and more. You can even see it's connected to the Bank of America. The current financial infrastructure and credit are more efficient system, Bank of America said. Tokenization can disrupt the current financial infrastructure. Of course, so much easier to tokenize something than have to go through all the red tape and all the other stuff. And it's faster, easier. People can get it quick. You can pay them back. Investors can get their dividends. It's just a better way to do business. We talked about tokenization yesterday with my man, Mark Fiddleman. That dude was amazing. I would watch that interview that we put out on my channel. It came out last night. That is an evergreen interview. You want to keep watching information like that. So AVAX may get a push from there, right? That's that's big news for Avalanche. That's big news for the crypto space. White House derailed negotiation on U.S. House stablecoin bill. A bipartisan agreement on stablecoin legislation was in reach, according to the chair, House of Financial Services Committee. But the ranking Democrat said McHenry halted talks. House lawmakers have failed to reach a bipartisan deal on stablecoins legislation, with Financial Service Committee Chair Patrick McHenry blaming White House intransigence for the stalemate, while the panel's top Democrat said it was McHenry who shut down the talks. The news come a day after the financial-focused lawmakers advanced 3 bills on crypto issues to a vote in the full House of Representatives. The first time they advanced laws fully dedicated to the topic. And we were supposed to get some clarity, finally. Today, I hope to announce an agreement with the ranking member on stablecoins legislation, McHenry said, referring to the committee's senior Democrat, Maxine Waters. This will not be the case. It was the White House's unwillingness to compromise that has once again brought that negotiation to a halt. McHenry said he was disappointed, but did not explain the details of the disagreement with the executive branch. Any U.S. stablecoin bill would also have to win support in the Democrat-led Senate. So a bill coming solely from the House Republicans rather than bipartisan effort may be less likely to influence the other chamber. We still can't get clarity. They're going to argue. We need people to represent us, to help us, and to move cryptocurrency forward. We're going to get there. It's going to take time. It just is what it is. If you look at history, this has happened throughout history every time. So, Swisstronic Testnet 1.0 ushering in a new era of compliant blockchain transactions. Swisstronic, an innovative Layer 1 network known for enabling the development of scalable, decentralized applications that uphold user privacy and regulatory compliance, has made significant strides by launching its inaugural testnet. The Swisstronic Testnet 1.0 is designed to equip dApp developers with unprecedented transaction security and robust encryption. That's what they all say. You know what I mean? Powered by advanced Intel SGX technology. Swisstronic's mission is to accelerate the practical adoption of blockchain technology by providing a robust, secure, and user-friendly network By integrating both hardware and software solutions, the network successfully addresses key challenges associated with legal compliance, data privacy, and interoperability. It's a known tech company. Now they're moving into blockchain. We like that. Swisstronic can't be bad. I'm always weary of like the more centralized connections there and where they're going. I keep a wide eye open there, but we'll see. And that, my friends, is the news. Bitcoin, to me, in this ascending triangle on the 1 minute time frame. Say I'm wrong, right? I believe we're going to start getting some sideways price action. The 1 hour does want to pump to the top of the channel. If you look at the channel that it's in here, the 1 hour could pop here back to the top. There's a chance it's got an aggressive curve up. The 15 minute also wants to make a move up. But I'm telling you right now, the 4 hour has momentum to the downside. I decided a short is in play. Stop loss here. Entry was already at 29,336, and the target down at 28,516. So everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Join MEXC today if you want to have zero fees. Maker and taker fees, they're the best. You won't be able to beat that. And also, BOOKMAP. Take BOOKMAP today, TradingView, all the things that I'm using here on the channel. But this is BOOKMAP right now. I'm just giving you your last look at liquidity before I dive on out of here. It does have some last little lines here at 29,30,000. It says we could pump up here. Whenever I see liquidity up here and we're closer, we squeeze the shorts. So it's very interesting. The 1 hour could get that short squeeze today. I would be watching it closely. If I was going to enter a bigger short, I'd wait for the 1 hour to roll over more. But right now, and we also have the liquidity where I have my measured move to 28,500, which is very interesting. Do we come up and then come right back down? It's a possibility. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Thank you to the chat. Thank you for your time. May God bless each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset, and that is your time. Lakochi Coker, Crypto Bear Baker, Josh, XRP Ripple, BRMC, my whole team, the Blue Crew, the Green Crew, Polygon Rocker, After Hours Investing, Lifer Adam, Lakochi, Billy Bob 369, Relax Your Own, my man, and everybody here on the stream. Thank you so much for jumping on in. Catch me later on today on ATB at 5 p.m. I'll be on the show, so I'll catch you there, and I'll see you tonight for the weekly screen share. God bless you all. Thank you for jumping on in, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Crypto is life. I love you all. Thank you so much for your time. I'll catch you on the next live stream tomorrow, Friday, baby, Friday.